Good morning. I'm Jasmine Anderson. Court today for a Ridge man accused of raping a senior in her Holbrook home. Police say Jawarren Booker entered the 74-year-old woman's apartment through a window Friday morning, then physically and sexually assaulted her. A Selden man is due in court today, accused of taking sexual pictures of a 13-year-old girl in Target. Police say Aqeel Ahmad used his cell phone to take pictures under the girl's dress as she looked at greeting cards in the store in Selden back on the 19th. We're told the girl's dad saw it happen, confronted Ahmad, and he ran off. Ahmad was arrested last night. Families are anxiously waiting for updates and trying to reach loved ones as relief efforts ramp up in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. The storm made landfall in Cuba this morning after devastating Jamaica. Jamaica's prime minister declared the country, quote, a disaster area. It's day 29 of the government shutdown, and air traffic controllers have now missed their first full paycheck. They stood with Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy at LaGuardia Airport yesterday, calling on Congress to end the stalemate.
Figure out how you guys can negotiate. Have a conversation, but pay us in the interim.
Duffy says there's no contingency funding available for air traffic controllers. Doctors are urging you to roll up your sleeve because the island could be in for a bad flu season.
But it's very effective in preventing death due to influenza, hospitalization due to influenza, and severe illness.
Health experts are predicting a bad flu season based off recent cases in Australia. They say most people 6 months or older should get a flu shot. A makeover is coming for Port Washington's Town Dock. The Army Corps of Engineers will soon begin a nearly $20 million renovation. Upgrades include a more durable bulkhead and redesigned drainage systems. Checking out your Wednesday weather, it's cloudy and dry today before storms roll in. It's windy today with a slight chance of rain. Highs are in the mid to upper 50s. Checking out your futurecast for tomorrow, rain and wind gusts of more than 30 miles per hour are possible. We could also see thunderstorms that might dump as much as 2 inches of rain, so keep that in mind if you have to head out. There's better luck for trick-or-treaters, of course. The storm should move out in time for Halloween on Friday, which is great news. The weekend and the start of next week are dry and sunny. That's a look at your 7-day forecast.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
Early voting is underway in this year's election, but starting next year, how you vote will look a little different. Newsday's Joy Brown explains in today's LI Votes report.
The voters are going to have problems with voter fatigue on 3-page ballots.
This year, voters can focus on local issues like zoning, budgets, and garbage pickup. But in 2026, local races move onto the same ballot as state and federal elections.
Our forefathers for hundreds of years said local elections would be held at one time period and the national elections would be held in another. That's because we want to have those issues that are important, the most direct impact on our residents, have their own platform.
By 2028, Long Island voters will choose everyone from president and Congress to state lawmakers, all the way down to town supervisors and judges. The change impacts candidates, too. 7 of 10 town supervisors on the ballot this year will have to run again in 2026. And experts say local races will be forced to compete with national races and national money.
You're going to have all these Washington special interest groups, the super PACs, the 527s, coming here, buying up all the TV time, all the social media time. There's going to be 20 pieces of mail in the mailbox every day.
One upside? Turnout could surge.
In presidential elections, we can see anywhere close to 70% turnout. In local year elections, we could see as low as 18 to 20% turnout. So for county executive or town supervisor, county legislator, all of those campaigns used to be focused on what was going on in our own backyards. Now we're going to have to figure out how those local candidates fit into the national level.
Voting is what's important to me, and voting against the politicians that I don't care for is most important.
These local elections, to me, are just as important as the national ones like we had last year. They really affect your daily lives.
I have a lot of faith in the intelligence and the capacity of Nassau voters to pay attention and vote properly and fill out their ballot. I'm not worried about Nassau voters.
Joy Brown, Newsday TV.
Thank you, Joy. Read more about this story and see Newsday's exclusive Long Island Voters Guide on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Only in Newsday, a new report shows Nassau spent big on outside lawyers. The NIFA audit found the county shelled out 4 times more on outside lawyers between 2023 and 2024. That's a jump from $1.4 million to $4.5 million. Newsday's Nassau political reporter Candace Ferretti tells us why.
The county's fiscal watchdog, NIFA, commissioned a report using an accounting firm from Hauppauge. It's an independent firm, and that firm released its report, finding that in the 1 year between 2023 and 2024, that spending rose because the county attorney's office, who's responsible for assigning these cases to outside law firms, actually in many cases did not follow its own bidding rules.
The audit found Nassau ignored its policy of soliciting proposals from law firms on its panel. Now, the county executive says some cases require special expertise found only in private firms. Read more about this audit on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
You probably recognize the home in this photo from Newsday's archives, now infamously known as the Amityville Horror House.
To a lot of people not on Long Island, the Amityville Horror House defines Long Island.
Former Newsday reporter A.J. Carter was on the story in November of 1974.
You've got the very big story of the day. You throw all the resources you can in.
23-year-old Ronnie DeFeo had killed his family by drugging their dinner and shooting them as they slept. His parents, 2 sisters, and 2 brothers.
This is not, how could a person like this commit these acts? It was, he wasn't the best guy in the world.
Police say Ronnie was a heroin user and killed his family to benefit from their insurance policies as the sole survivor. But at one point, he claimed a demonic voice told him to kill. The Lutz family moved in a year later.
I broke the story about the Amityville Horror.
And lived there for barely a month before abandoning the home and everything in it, saying they saw figures, heard strange sounds, and felt vibrations.
We thought it was so silly, that who would believe this? We put the story in the paper, almost holding your nose, haunted house, whatever. And then, of course, when the book came out, the Amityville Horror book, and the movie, and it took on a life of its own. You reported the story because it was a story. Did you believe it? No.
Their story has been debunked, but to this day, many people still drive by the home with a haunted history, despite major renovations to change the home's appearance and a new address.
Ronnie DeFeo spent the rest of his life in prison. He died in 2021 at the age of 73. Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Macy Eglund.
Macy, thank you. See more Picture This stories on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
We first went out to Orient right off the causeway. There we have thousands of lantern nets, which is a commercial type of aquaculture gear. They house scallops ranging from a couple months to about 18 months. Right now we currently have about 700,000 to 800,000 scallops out there. It's called the spawner sanctuary. They're protected from predators, so you have no predation, but you also have them in very close proximity to each other, so you're helping ensure successful fertilization of the eggs by the sperm, which really helps promote that recruitment that we want to see. And what we actually went out and looked at today were 2 different lineages we produced in 2024. The first line we looked at were scallops we produced from Marich's broodstock that we collected in 2023. And then the second line would have been produced from Peconic broodstock that we collected throughout the Peconic in 2023. And the idea behind having multiple lineages, we started seeing survival trends and differences between different lineages, specifically Martha's Vineyard and Peconic lineages. So the Martha's Vineyard lineages, we were seeing anywhere from 70 to 95% survival by harvest, whereas the Peconic ranged from 5 to 25% survival. So the idea was, if we're seeing increased survival in Martha's Vineyard scallops, maybe we'll see increased survival in Moriches scallops. So this year we spawned Martha's Vineyard, Moriches, and Peconic scallops, and we have about 700,000 of them out there right now, where they'll spawn and hopefully distribute those genetics throughout the Peconic. This parasite was first documented in 2019, and we can say it's largely responsible for the die-offs we're seeing in the Peconic.
Just for you personally doing this, you know, is there just a personal passion to like kind of solve this puzzle that will mean so much, you know, for consumers who have a big demand and for the economy and the
I mean, so like, don't get me wrong, I love the science, but like this isn't a science experiment. Like this is applied science to a problem, which is the economy, which is these baymen, which is their families, bringing back all of the lost revenue. I mean, this is right around Christmas, Hanukkah. So like these families potentially don't have anything to buy gifts with, and you know, that's what we want to bring back.
I'm Doug Geed for Newsday TV.
Read more about this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Celebrity chef Tom Colicchio stopped by Newsday Studios. Newsday food writer Erica Marcus moderated conversation with him last night here in Melville. The 8-time James Beard award-winning chef is celebrating the 25th anniversary of his book, Think Like a Chef.
The concept behind the book was to teach people, number one, that it's more about techniques, and once you understand that, then trying to teach a couple different ways to think about putting together dishes so you can create your own food as opposed to following a recipe.
The Top Chef executive producer and judge also took questions from the audience. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other services you see here. I'm Jasmine Anderson. More local news coming up.